Hey everyone, welcome to the Wither Effect episode 6. Today's date is July 23rd, 2019, and I am Duds, also known as Duds versus in most social media circles.
Way to go, talking right at the start of the episode already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Bankard Apple, or Bank for short, and today we're going to talk about some Minecraft. So, besides tripping over your words, what have you been up to this week?
What are you talking about? That was a glorious intro. It's not like I say the same thing every week and we have it scripted out and I still have trouble saying it.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it was a little bit, but I thought it was fun.
It works out. People know the date and they know the episode number. That's all they need to know.
True. Good point.
Yeah, but this week was busy. I shouldn't say this week. Last week. This past week was super busy. I did 3 straight days of live streaming, which I never do. Normally, I always have a day in between streaming sessions because streaming takes a lot out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the Ripple Effect Livestream day, and I wanted to fit in the normal Friday live stream. And then I really wanted to do a live stream to get some work done to finish out a video. So I did it 3 days straight, and a lot of work got done. A lot of raging happened in some games that weren't Minecraft. But
yep.
Yeah, let's just say uninstalled. That happened. I got a lot of work done on the village in front of the keep, which I'm really happy with. That area is really coming together. I can't wait to start doing some terraforming and bringing plants and life into the area. Let's see. I also have started an XP on demand farm. Well, I say started. I technically, as of time of recording this, have finished the farm. I am just waiting for it to get done so I can make sure it works. But yeah, XP on demand, I'm excited for that. That's going to be a cool project, and I hope everyone likes the video on that. I built a cactus farm, which all I did was take the idea of a flying machine with sweeper arms and rip it in half and then do my bamboo farm. And it turned out way complicated than I ever thought was possible. But it works, so I'm not going to complain, and it's super efficient to the part where I need to build another cactus farm to keep up with the bamboo. It's insane. But
yeah, those bamboos tend to grow a lot.
Yeah, well, and mine only go to a height of 4. So it's not even like they're growing very tall.
Well, maybe that makes them go even quicker.
Yeah,
There's something with sugar where the second stage grows a bit slower than the first one or something. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But what were you working on this week, Bank?
So I did a stream.
First stream?
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a lot of fun, but I was kind of lucky. I think I got a lot of views because of the stream day. Mm-hmm. At least I think it was because of the stream day.
Stream days are always fun.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun to do. I'll still have to see how it is with a bit less viewers, but I think it'll still be fun. It was really nice to stream. I enjoyed that. It was kind of relaxed to do, I guess. Mm-hmm. You can just do your thing. That's about it, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like, there's really no planning needed for a stream. You just need a goal, and then just go do it.
Yeah, well, not even a goal, just sort of something to work on.
A direction, how about that? We just need to point direction. You somewhere and go.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't gotta start wandering off aimlessly, I guess. Mm-hmm. But just have a little plan, and it should work out fine. Yeah. And then for the rest, I just did a ton of, kind of terraforming. I just worked around my area. Uploaded another video, which was been a while. Mm-hmm. Just, I decorated a bunch, I guess. Which was nice to be working on that again. Yeah,
I always like when you start to fill in the blank canvas of areas, mm-hmm. and with wildlife and such, it really brings, I don't know, I don't want to say completion, but it excites you.
It starts to makes things come to life a bit, I guess.
To see a vision start to come in is real mm-hmm. nice.
Yeah, it creates some atmosphere as well, or ambience, how do you call it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. So, what's in the news this week? Anything special?
Minecraft news. 1.14.4 released later than I said it was going to last podcast, so I'm kind of disappointed in Minecraft. I really wish Mojang would step their game up, and when I promise something, make it come true. Because, my say matters.
Yeah, well, if it happens, you should have promised a lot of other fun stuff, I guess. See how that worked out.
Yeah, that's coming. Lots of fun stuff is coming in this podcast, trust me.
Oh, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But 1.14.4, we'll just go over it real quick because it's not a ton of stuff. It's mainly performance upgrade for servers. They're fixing memory leaks. The big thing to me is the debug report that you can make in-game that saves to your desktop to send to Mojang when a problem happens. I think that's a really smart feature and will hopefully make it easier for them to fix bugs later.
So does that mean like anyone on any server and stuff can just do that and then
that I don't
encounter a glitch? Or okay, I mean, still it sounds useful. Makes it easier to send stuff, I guess, to them.
Yeah,
and clear on what you should send.
Mm-hmm. But they also said, actually, other than this thing, I want to talk about zombie sieges because those seem to be making a bit of a comeback in this update. And
okay.
I'm going, why? Why zombie sieges come back? I don't think zombie sieges are needed. We have so many new bad mobs, especially with like pillager patrols.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think zombie sieges... to me, my biggest complaint in Minecraft right now is there's too many zombies as it is. I like some different kinds of mobs.
Yeah, it's like most of it is a zombie variant, I guess.
Yeah, and then zombie sieges to me have always been a little pointless. A gang of zombies are mad. If you're anywhere past the first 2 weeks of the game, that's still nothing. You just kind of run around in a circle, take them on one at a time, and within 2 hits of his sword, they're dead. Or if you got a good bow, you just hit them before they even come close enough.
Yeah, and you can just stand on top of a tree and you'll be fine.
Yeah, so short, tiny rant over. No more zombie sieges. Somebody create a data pack to get rid of that feature.
I mainly agree. Like, what's the point of adding zombie sieges when you just added the patrols?
Right. Well, I mean,
like sort of a double kind of thing.
Yeah, they've always been there, but they've kind of been like turned down to like maybe like a 1% kind of thing.
Oh, right.
But now they're cranked up to the point where it's like I've seen maybe 3 zombie sieges in my entire time. I saw 2 of them this week.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's like...
So what is it like? Is it just it's just like zombies walking
It's a horde of like 7 zombies.
Okay.
And one of those times was when the server wasn't laggy. It was just me on by myself. So I stood on a 2 tall block and shot them with my bow. The second time was when the server was super laggy, but one of those zombies had a Carl head. So I just kind of danced around in a circle and killed him and took Carl's head. Because,
Oh, you got him as well?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll end my rant there. No more zombie raid things or whatever. No more. We don't need them. But the last kind of stat they said for 1.14 was... 1.14.4 was the last kind of update to 1.15. That they're now turning their attentions to the next update. Which I'm just like, yes, finally. I want some 1.15 news. Give me more stairs and slabs. You wet my whistle for just a little bit. I want more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to 1.15. I'm curious what they're gonna do for it.
Yeah. I mean, they've hinted at combat, but they've also hinted at a biome update again. I hope it's not the same biomes we voted on last year. Because it's like, we already know about those. You guys should have already worked on those. So let us vote on a different kind of biome update.
Oh, let's not let us vote again. I don't think that worked out well.
Yeah, I don't think the voting stuff, because to me, Taiga didn't need to be updated. Taiga was the best biome already. I think people really just wanted foxes.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Once they found out foxes can't be tamed, they really don't care about foxes now.
Well, you can sort of tame them, right? If you breed them, and then the baby will be sort of...
Well, they're friendly to you, but you can never
Yeah, that's
tame
true.
them, per se.
Well, I'm a big fan of the berry bushes, though, so I like that little update to it.
I do like the berry bushes.
I think they should just add those biomes on top of, like, something new.
Yeah. But other than that, Minecraft news is all about Minecraft Earth for the most part this week. And you kind of dug in, you watched some videos on that. So what do you have on Minecraft Earth?
I was kind of curious, because Minecraft Earth was kind of sort of vague to me when they uploaded that trailer of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched some videos, and the first thing I encountered was Sethbling.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about this one.
Yeah, he's really, well, he's quite a technical guy, not just redstone technical, but he's clever with code and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he immediately started like making redstone contraptions and basically just like fitness machines where you would run over a pressure plate, and then if you run over another pressure plate, it sort of times your time.
Uh-huh.
Which isn't a new redstone thing in Minecraft, but it never really made sense to build it in Minecraft, I guess.
Yeah, they had...
And he just made it...
I think they had that same thing for like horses, so you could test how fast your horse was.
Yeah, and now you can test how fast you can sprint, like in the real life. Which I think is kind of a clever thing. It's like, he uses the game really well, I think.
That's true.
And he made like a piano, which you can play by like walking around. So I thought that was kind of cool. The little videos I saw were definitely made me... Well, I think the game looks better than I initially thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Grian and Mumbo play as well on the game a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of fun. But I like the fact that you can basically place like a building field on your desk, so it's really small and tiny.
Yeah.
And then you can build something, and then you can just scale it to real life somewhere else. And it looks amazing, like you have to look up and stuff. And it sort of places it alright in the world. It doesn't look too strange. You can just place it inside rooms as well if you get a really tall build.
Mm-hmm.
It works way better than I thought it would, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed looking at those things. I'd recommend looking at some videos if you're unsure about what it is, or maybe think it's a bit too childish.
For me to be on the opposite platform, because every podcast we've had before, I've not really supported Minecraft Earth. I've always kind of felt it was a little waste. So to hear you kind of, okay, this could be a cool thing, is optimistic to me, because I'm still on the bleh train as it is. But maybe my mind can be changed. My biggest complaint is you're going to be looking through your phone screen. And I already look at my phone screen way too much as it is. Mm-hmm. So to now have to look through my phone screen to see something, and then builds like Sethbling. I didn't watch the video, but I heard mention of the fact that he was trying to push like build limit height. Like, how far can this game go? And I think he got it to like 60-something blocks or whatever before he would have to physically climb something to go higher. Mm-hmm. Well, you still can't see that except for on this tiny little phone screen, or if you're lucky enough to have, I guess, an iPad, because that's the only... Apple's the only one that gives you the immersion ability to get in there. You're still looking through a small screen, and that's my biggest complaint. I would have liked to see it VR, where you could take your phone and put it in one of those universal VR headsets, and it would put you into the thing. That would have been I like that really idea. Cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I still agree with you. It's a phone game. I mean, it's not something I would play hours on end like I could do with Minecraft.
Yeah.
It definitely looks a lot of fun to just sort of mess around with. Play a little bit. Just sometimes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a full-time game for sure. But it's still, it looks way better than I thought it would. It looks interesting. I'd like to play around with it sometimes.
To me, the biggest thing that would come from and help it would be if you could take your world in game and transfer it to your phone and play it there. Yeah,
as far as I saw, you just sort of get a chunk, like, you you sort of get a chunk, and that's what you got a work field, right? So you don't have a real world you can walk through. I didn't see that, which makes it already like it's not a game you can play full time. You're just sort of in a chunk basically. But still, it looks kind of cool. You can just place it in the real world and have a look. I think other people see it at the same spot as well when you actually place it in the world. Yeah, but I mean, still, it's a mobile game.
Yeah, I have to take some video to look at it. Your optimism towards watching the videos and actually seeing what it was has me curious, because could it be something more than what I'm thinking it is, where it's just a tinier version of Minecraft that's technically quote-unquote 3D in front of you that's on the screen?
Well, for me, it definitely was I think, Seth Blink's creativity that showed, like, oh, wait, all those standard sort of boring things you could do in Minecraft, they really come to life, because you have to activate them. Because you walk around yourself, and that's your character walking, right?
Yeah.
So all the things that are based off your movement, that's something you can do yourself. And I thought that sort of interaction, I thought it was brilliantly found. And he's doing some clever stuff with that, which I think makes that game cool.
Gotcha. Alright, well, enough about Minecraft Earth. Let's move on to some listener comments, because we did get some comments, not so much in email form, but anyone who follows us knows we had a Ripple Effect stream day Saturday, where, how many was it? 6 streamers streamed for 2 hours apiece. So a 12-hour day full of streaming. I woke up early and I still couldn't watch everyone, because I think it started at 5 a.m. my time.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, but it was a great day, and the big thing that kept popping up to me in my head every time I sat there and was watching these streams was people mentioning the Wither Effect. And I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it, to hear so many people actually listening to the podcast and thoroughly enjoying it. So those of you who mentioned the Wither Effect and try to push it without me, Bank, or Carl, or Decoy saying anything, thank you so much. It really did mean a lot to me.
Yeah, that was, I agree. It was a lot of fun to hear people mention the Wither Effect and reference to it. That was really cool to hear. All right, but I guess we'll move on to the main topic of today.
Yes.
I was scouring the internet a bit, or mainly the Minecraft wiki, to be honest, and then I found a section which was called Mentioned Features.
Right. We know how people here like when we come up with new Minecraft things or how to improve Minecraft. So this is perfect for them.
These are kind of things that just people from Mojang or whatever came up with. They once tweeted about it, or it's actually planned, and then we thought it could be fun to pick a few and talk about it.
Yeah. So what we got going on is Bank picked 10, I picked 10. And mind you, this list was, hundreds of things mentioned?
Oh, there were a lot. Yeah.
So many. So we can come back to this list at any point if you guys really like this thing. But, so Bank's going to mention one, and then I'm going to mention one, and we're just going to keep talking about each other's quote-unquote features that should be in Minecraft.
Yeah. Well, I didn't necessarily pick ones. Well, most of them I think I would like to see back in Minecraft. And there's definitely one that's more like, oh, it stands sort of out to me, and I'm curious.
That's true. I picked one or two that just stood out.
It's an interesting conversation topic. Yeah. All right, but I'll kick it off. The first one that I saw that stood out to me, which I thought was really cool, was dirt slabs. It sort of sounds like a no-brainer, like, oh, dirt slabs. Yeah, it's just another slab.
Yeah.
But there was a little story with it where I think it was, well, two of the main Minecraft developers, I guess Dinnerbone and Jab, but don't hold me to it. I might be wrong on that one. But, and they were talking about trying to implement the dirt slabs inside the world generation, where they would replace all the dirt that we generate with the dirt slabs, so the grass wouldn't overgrow the dirt patches, which I thought was a really cool idea. But it also said that they couldn't really work it out too well, and there was some issues with the dirt slabs spawning in like cliff edges and in caves and all that stuff, so they never implemented it. But I thought that was really awesome that they tried to implement it into the world generation.
Yeah, I really like the idea of dirt slabs, even if it's not in the world generation. I think that should be in there, period. Even grass slabs should be in there too.
Yeah.
But to hear that their first thought was immediately put it into world generation gives me hopes that the stone slab and stone stairs will be put into world generation at some point.
Yeah, that was definitely what made it stand out to me, that they tried to implement it in the generation. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I hope they do it as well.
Yeah, same here. Alright, for my first mentioned feature is rear tool / weapons. This is one of the things I've mentioned before, and that's why it stood out to me. Their idea was, so you would take a bow, and let's say this bow draws back faster than any bow in the game. You could not craft this bow. You could not earn this bow. It's one of those things you have to find, which I thought was really cool because it would give you a reason to go exploring again. Chance to come up with these crazy weapons or tools or anything like boots that increased health or helmets that gave you night vision.
Yeah, I agree. That would be really cool. It also would add some variety. Like, everybody basically has the same stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's inventory is basically the same, except for a few random choices. And that would change it a lot. Like, people would be, oh, you found that. That's cool. You have, I don't know, some in-game stuff to talk about next try, I guess. And exploring, obviously, like you mentioned.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But what was your number 2 on your list?
The number 2 on my list was Seasons, which I thought was really cool. I think they can do fun stuff with that, and then the stuff they mentioned was adjusting the daylight cycle, so it would be longer night or longer day depending on the season. Leaf colors on trees, which I thought was cool. Also a little mention of making it link to the real life seasons, which I'm not sure if that would be fun or not.
People in Australia would get confused.
Yeah, right. You gotta, well, or maybe they recognize that they're in Australia, but then all over the world you would get different seasons. That would be weird as well. I don't know. I'm not sure if it should be linked to real life, but having seasons definitely sounded interesting to me. I think they could be fun.
Yeah, I've always
liked dynamic.
The idea of seasons, but to me, instead of changing the entire world for a season, I think seasons should be biomes. So you can have a fall or autumn biome that would, say you put a birch leaf down and it turned orange, and maybe an oak turns red or something like that. So now you've got this variation of just awesome leaf colors without having to change to a whole new tree. I think that could work out well. Same with so I've been watching a little bit of BOO lately, and he's working on a custom texture pack. Well, one of his features in a custom texture pack is you take mossy cobblestone, and when you place it down in a snowy biome, the green moss turns white, so it looks like snow got packed in the cobblestone.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. This BOO is not a game engineer by any means whatsoever. He admits it in his videos. But if he can do that to a texture pack, Mojang should be able to figure out how to change leaf colors, do stuff like that. It's take what you already have and kind of have it, I don't know, manipulate to the biomes. You already kind of do that with swamps and, Mushroom Islands. Where the grass on Mushroom Islands is extremely bright, and you go to the savannah, grass is really dull and not so colorful. You have it there. Just add it to more...
Yeah, even with the water.
Yeah, add it to more blocks. Take advantage of that.
I agree. I like your idea of having them biomes. I like the idea of having, I'm building in the swamp now. And I think it could be cool that I just have a little winter time where I just have a snow for a bit. Or where it's really sunny and I have all kinds of vegetation maybe. It might ask too much of the game to actually make stuff grow a bit more. But I like the idea of not having to set of you get change inside the team that you're already working in, so every biome gets a little change throughout time. And if you pick a biome well, you already kind of have a winter biome, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I never chose to build in the snowy biome. I'm not sure if I will ever do that, because I think I'd get sick of that snow all the time. Whereas if you make it just change over time, then I always get like a base, which is maybe sometimes in the winter. But I get your point as well. If you want to stick to a theme, you don't want to be dealing with a winter or something.
Yeah. Well, and see, I like how you mentioned the snow biome. So one of the reasons I chose the location for my base this season where it is because it was kind of right on the outskirts of some snow biomes.
Yeah.
So as of right now, my base isn't really snowy. I've kind of purposely kept it to where it's not going to be. But the plan is when I start terraforming and adding in bushes and trees and stuff, I plan on bringing in a lot more snow, and it's going to get a lot snowier. So I'm kind of excited for that huge change, because for a year now, it's not been a snowy base. But for like the last couple months, it's going to be a snowy base, which I think is going to be really cool.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be cool.
Yeah. On to my second one.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what's your next one?
Something I think a lot of people would enjoy is vertical redstone.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I don't know how you would do it. I think they've kind of already started doing that with observers, because you can stack them vertically and send the redstone signal that way without being obtrusive sideways to anything. Like before, you could stack, redstone torches, but you also had to make sure your redstone torch lined up correctly, because a redstone torch would interfere to the sides of it if you had redstone too close. So, yeah, I mean, vertical redstone is just a quick idea, but it could be cool.
I like to see it, and they sort of have it already, right? When you go from one block to the next, it goes to the side. You can place
when it changes heights.
Yeah, and you can place like item frames and paintings on the wall already, signs, all that. I mean, you could just have like redstone placed directly against the wall. I think that could be nice. That could be. I don't like having to use observers or redstone towers.
Yeah.
It's always a bit awkward going up and down of redstone, which that would definitely solve. It would be nice.
Well, you may mention item frames. What if you were able to put redstone in an item frame, and that kind of separated the circuit unless it was directly touching? So now you could kind of have the bluestone effect from Mumbo Jumbo's April Fool joke, where you could have two different redstone circuits near each other, but since they're not directly connected, they don't interact with each other.
Well, you can also rotate inside an item frame, right? So maybe you could have a sort of switch, so the redstone line goes from horizontal to vertical, and then like now this line is activated, but now that line is activated. Like if you switch it,
that's
something
true.
Like that. Could be something with that.
Could be something. What's your next one, Beck?
Well, that's one I saw, and I was like, I want that back, because we just found it. That's the return of customized worlds.
Yeah.
They actually mentioned that one not too long ago, so I hope they're actually working on it. But we once had a custom world, and then after that we really enjoyed like different terrain, so we went to a customized world generation. And I loved that generation. Like the mountains were slow and slopey, and it looked just way more realistic.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that back again.
I
so like to have that back again.
Yeah, I think that really needs to come back. I don't know why it got taken away, or why they thought it was a good idea to take it away. But yeah, that needs to come back for sure.
And they said they would make it easier. I mean, I really feel like they're working on it. Because it was like a lot of weird sliders, which you had no idea what they really meant.
Yeah.
So I hope they make it clearer as well. But yeah, that's gotta come back, really.
Well, and see, my next one actually works pretty well with the one you just mentioned, and that's building a custom sound system, so you'd have more ambient sounds in the game. Such as if
like
you were
that.
on a beach biome, you'd get like gentle waves of the ocean, which I think is awesome. Or like, say you were in a cave, maybe you would hear water dripping every once in a while. Or even in the nether,
yeah.
you could have like a hell sound in the background every once in a while.
And in the jungle, like a lot of, I don't know, bird noises maybe, something like
exactly.
that.
I think that that would really be
I
awesome
agree.
to put in the custom world stuff.
I would love to see that as well. Just in general, that would be, just makes the world comes to life a bit more, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what all of Minecraft is they give you this blank slate, and it's really your job to take this blank slate and turn it into something living.
Yeah. And the more tools you get, the easier it gets, but maybe the more extreme cool stuff you can create.
Well, we can go with the more tools we get, the more lively we can create it, or a more detailed life we can make.
Yeah, that's... You said it nicely there.
Yeah. So, what about you? What's your next?
Portable light. It's one of the 2 reasons I use Optifine, so that my torches give off light when I hold them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that in the game. Maybe create a different item for it. I'm okay with that. But I'd love to have something that I can hold that would give me light, and I don't have to actually place things.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not in the game. Like, I understood their thought process with they didn't want you to think that you didn't need to light anything up to get rid of mobs. So they didn't put that in the game. But then they have this safe zone around the player where it's like, 26 blocks around the player that nothing spawns anyways. So he just kind of threw that out the window. Let us have portable light. Let us hold a torch and walk around. I don't use that feature in Optifine because I will confuse myself and not light anything up. Because I'm just that dim-witted when I play.
Well, I'm sure it would be an option anyway that you could turn off if they implement it. But
sure.
I mean, it's a well-used feature in Optifine. For good reason, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, what's your next one?
My next one is kind of a quality of life feature, but like when you shear a sheep, they should still show their color when you've sheared them.
Yeah, they don't really do that, do they?
No, so when you shear a sheep, you have no clue what color it is.
It leaves a bit of wool, but that's white for some reason.
Right. Why not leave it the color it was?
Makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. That would be really cool. Isn't I was gonna say, isn't there some texture pack that does that? But geez, why don't just add it in the game?
Yeah, it should have been in the World of Color update or whatever that was.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, they did do a color update, sort of.
Right. Color your sheep, Mojang.
Back. Yeah.
But I mean, nice it's a small little thing. A lot of mine are small little quality of life stuff I found. But to me, that was an obvious one. It's like, wait, what? Why is that not in the game?
I think those are also... I mean, those are Minecrafty and fun things to add, right? The little quality of life stuff. You don't want to game-changing...
No.
Like, you don't want to add 20 new bosses and all kinds of mobs that would completely change the game.
No, we're going to save that for later in this podcast.
Maybe. Yeah, so I guess my next one. That's kind of a bigger one. It's sort of a whole biome almost, but rainbow crystalline caves. I thought that sounded awesome. Not the rainbow part, not so much. I think that would be maybe weird, having a lot of different colors. But definitely the crystalline caves, and maybe crystal as a resource could be interesting. I'd like to see that in a whole cave update or something. Maybe be its own cave biome. Yeah.
Well, you're going to get ready to do 2 in a row, because I just thought of something. I'm stealing one of your things off your list to kind of put in there.
Yes, fine.
So... the whole crystal in the cave system.
Right.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could craft crystals into colored lighting?
Right? Oh, I just skipped a bunch, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's a good thing you called me back on that.
Bring you back.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, colored lighting. Well, that could work really well with the rainbow crystals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The rainbow still makes me think of really weird stuff. I don't think that would look cool, but
Well,
everyone thinks about that differently, so they might make it look awesome.
when I hear rainbow, to me that's just different colors of crystals. So you'd have a blue crystal, light blue crystal, a red crystal, an orange crystal, brown crystal.
Right. But if you sort of spread that out in one cave, that would be awkward, wouldn't it? Just random colors.
Depends on how spread out it is.
Yeah. If you get like zones or whatever, that could work out really well. Yeah. Yeah, and then colored lighting, like you said. Yeah, that could work out well with I think they should add that anyway, colored lighting. I think that could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also being able to maybe dye redstone lamps. I think we talked about that in a podcast before.
Yeah, what if you take those crystals and instead of doing the regular redstone lamp crafting recipe, you use crystals instead of glowstone, and now you have powered colored lamps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool.
So much you could do with that. Cave update. Mm-hmm. Get on it, Mojang.
Yeah, it fits really well within the cave update.
It really does.
They might use it if they go and do caves. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Mojang, you have our permission. Take our ideas. Just take them.
Yep.
Especially for what I have
definitely allowed to. All right, let us hear that one.
Oh no, we're not going to get to that one. I'm saving that one for last. Dang it.
Oh, you mean your last one? I thought the next one you were talking about.
My next one actually came from Livestream Day. I said, what kind of foods should Minecraft put in the game? Because as soon as a gold farm's built, all I eat is golden carrots. I don't switch my food source up ever. And it gets a little boring. I'd like to have more fun ways to do some food sources. And one of the foods mentioned was corn. And it just so happened that corn was on this list of mentioned features. I think
corn would be a cool one, and I agree. Like, you generally just pick one type of food. They sort of adjusted the with the 1.13 update, I think, where like lamb and steak and pig all have the same food value when you eat it and stuff.
Yeah, I think steak still has better saturation than all of them.
Oh, okay.
Other than golden carrots. But I know they raised cooked salmon up, so it's a very good choice. And I think all the other ones are about the same now, except for baked potato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think like the whole food system could do with a nice overhaul, maybe, anyway.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of unused foods, but I like to have corn. I think just another extra something that grows as a plant.
Exactly.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a fun plant, right? It would be sort of a sunflower, but slightly different.
Exactly. Oh,
I guess.
That would be nice. I should change sunflowers on my texture pack to be corn.
You could do that. Yeah.
I hate the sunflower texture now, and I just don't like sunflowers in the game in general. So being able to change it to corn would be kind of cool.
I don't mind the sunflower that much, but I'm always really disappointed that they sort of aim one way, which makes sense, because that's what sunflowers do. Mm-hmm. But they only look nice from one side.
Yeah.
Which makes them hard to use as decoration, I think, because if you look at them from the backside, it's just a green thingy.
That's very true.
Which I think is a shame. Yeah,
but
for the rest, I don't mind them that much.
Yeah, talking about food and stuff, I want to be able to put pumpkin pie down like I do cake.
Sure, why not?
Or loaf of bread. Let me put loaf of bread down like I do cake too.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're sort of asking for a flower pot item frame cross kind of thing, I guess. I mean, what if you just make a plate, which works as a sort of flower pot, but for food?
Yeah, that could work.
I don't know.
Say you up
but I
the
agree.
recipe.
It would be nice to
of a flower pot. Instead of doing the clay bars in a V, you do clay in a U, and that creates the plate. or you could put food on it, and
Or a
it kind of
bowl.
gives it a little bit of a texture to it, 3D texture.
Yeah. Something like that. But I agree with you. It would be nice to be able to place a loaf of bread or like you said, the pumpkin pie, just like a cake.
Mm-hmm.
Could be nice decoration. But to continue on food, actually, you mentioned corn, and I saw cherry trees in that list.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that would be awesome. We sort of have the cherry bushes now, or what are they? The berry bushes.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be cherries, but I think that trees should grow like fruit anyway. Like, it's weird that the apples sort of spawn from the leaves when they disappear.
Right, but they're not actually on the tree.
Yeah, they should just give it that sort of berry bush idea, I think. Just have the tree grow like apples and you can pick them or something. It would make the game come so much more alive. And a bigger difference between the trees, I think. Because oak trees and birch trees, they kind of look alike. The trunk is like completely different. But if you look from the top, like the leaves are all sort of the same. There's no...
Yeah.
Like, if you would look at a forest from the top, there's not that much difference between all the trees, I think.
Yeah, and I think what they have already in the game that could really help this is you look at the chorus plant, and when you're saying picking apples from the tree, well, chorus plants, you can now shoot the plant off. So how cool would it be to be able to shoot arrows off a tree?
Oh, that would be... Yeah, shooting at apples. That's classic.
I'm telling you.
Oh, I love
Mojang,
that. Yeah.
Hire me. I have your ideas. Actually, I'm just taking your ideas, recycling them, and throwing them back at you.
Yeah, we're just demanding them, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. Alright, but yeah, I think, by the way, that with trees you could have nice and different variants, right? You could have apples and pears and what else grows on trees?
Oranges.
Oranges, good one. Yeah. Bananas, they sort of grow on trees, right?
I don't know. I've heard they grow on trees, but I want to say that they grow on like other stuff too.
I did see them once in real life, but they were sort of short trees.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I couldn't tell if it's
sure
a tree
if they actually
or a
qualified
vine.
as a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a banana bush.
I guess. Yeah.
Great. Carl's going to use that as the title. Duds and Bake don't know what a banana tree is.
Well, now you definitely gave him the idea.
Don't you do it, Carl. Okay, so let's
continue to the next one before we give Carl too much fun things to play with.
Yeah. Okay, another quality of life thing. So you're working on your redstone project, right? You've got a piston that you need to push a bunch of objects.
Yeah.
Well, you flip a lever, piston doesn't move. Let's say you don't know if maybe your redstone power is not getting to the piston, or the piston just can't push that many objects, or maybe it has an object behind it like a furnace or an obsidian block keeping it from trying to push.
Yeah, I recognize that issue as well.
Well, the feature is that the piston would show a smoke particle and maybe make a clunk sound to let you know I am powered and trying to move these obstacles, but I can't.
I like that. I've been more often than I'd like to admit in the situation where I was busy doing redstone, and because you're like focused on the redstone, you just completely overlook that you're pushing too much items with a piston.
Right.
And like, why is it not working? Why redstone signal is going there? And then you're going like, oh. And if you would flick the switch or whatever, and you would hear the clunk and see some smoke, you'd be like, oh, right.
Yeah, you do it immediately. Something's keeping that piston from doing its job.
Yeah. And it's just a little thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't see why it would be hard to... I mean, if you can trigger the fact that it can't push, then you already have something to go off of, I guess. So just add a sound to that, and you're done.
Yeah, and I think it could be a cool... I don't want to say building feature, but like... Imagine having two observers looking at each other, so you get that real quick clock going on, and maybe have a piston behind one of them trying to push obsidian. So your wall is now clunking and smoking at the same time. That could be a really cool building thing.
You could make like broken doors and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
See?
More uses than I thought they would.
Coming up with things like crazy. But what is your next one?
Mm-hmm. Well, it sort of sticks with the pistons. I saw the spike block, and at first I thought like, oh, they sort of, I don't know, like a spike on the ground and it hurts you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of the original sticky piston.
Really?
They stepped away from it because they implemented sticky pistons. But the idea was to put it on a piston and poke it out, and it would spike a block and then grab it back. They sort of stopped using that. The Dinnerbone apparently still likes the idea, and if he can find like a useful or good reason for it, he'd like to put it back in, or put it in the game, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting that it was the sort of original sticky piston, I guess.
It is very cool. It shows a window to how they think about the game. I mean, to go from a spike that stabs something to a sticky piston, which is just literally a blob of glue on the end of a wooden plank, is cool.
And also, just, well, the original idea I had of a spike block was, you sort of place a spike on the ground and you can make like a falling pit or whatever to defend yourself, maybe a little bit of a wall against zombies, that kind of things. Yeah. I think that could be a nice thing as well to have. Just some kind of defense block, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, because they kind of have, like, what is it now? Magma blocks act a lot like that.
That's true. And I guess the Wither Rose, maybe.
And the Wither Rose, yeah. Holy cow. So they have 2 blocks. Could you imagine? Mm-hmm. Can you place Wither Roses on magma blocks? How fast the death
I think you
chain
can,
would be?
actually. I think I saw a video on that. You can, but it doesn't double the damage or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make people... Well, I was going to say people, but it doesn't make things die quicker. If I remember right. Oh. I think you can place them on top of each other.
Well, yeah. But anyways, I mean, to me, it's kind of like they've added a spike block. It's just...
That's actually a good point. I completely overlooked that.
I mean, I would like a spike block just for the decorations. I think it would look really cool. Function-wise, I think we have what most people would be considered a spike block in the Wither Rose, like you said.
Well, and then like Dinnerbone said, right? That's the whole point why it's not in there. Find a good use for it.
Yeah.
Which,
decoration is not enough.
If there isn't a good use, don't just add it for... Yeah, exactly. Don't just add it to add it. Mm-hmm. Be nice to have it with some good use. Yeah. Yeah. What's your next one?
My next one is kind of an obvious one. I saw this and again went, wait a second. This isn't modded. It should be in vanilla. And that's Nether Gold Ore.
Mm-hmm.
Pigmen drop gold when we kill them. And we kill them in droves, so we get a lot of gold. But why is gold not in the nether? How do these pigmen get said gold? Well, Nether Gold Ore would kind of complete said thought process.
I had not thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking sort of its own kind of resource.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you put it, it makes complete sense to me.
Right.
Yeah, where do those nether pigs get their gold from? Just have it as actual gold ore, not nether gold ore.
Right, and that's one of the things I was thinking of when we did our Create a Mob podcast was how is this mob getting its resource? I guess a wraith carrying quartz doesn't really make much sense either, other than the fact both mobs are probably white. So I don't know. Maybe a wraith could also drop white dye if that made more sense.
I like the idea of having a mob that drops quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the nether gold ore is definitely. I looked at it completely different than the way you described it, which is interesting. But the way you describe it, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. That's all I'm trying to go to. I'm trying to complete a story here. Mojang is blocking me. And I'm trying to tell them, hey, you already thought about this. Do it.
They did fine about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're getting to the end of the list almost.
I know. This is an awesome list, though.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, the whole list is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We just picked a few out.
We picked 20 random things that just caught our eye.
I'm joining your what is it? Your small things, quality of life thing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to make water occupy only 1/2 of a glass pane.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of... What's there to say about it? That would just be lovely to have. It would make for nicer aquariums, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how you have to do it with full blocks now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would just be nice.
Well, see, to me, this was obviously promised in the aquatic update. Or I say
yeah,
aquatic.
I think they've worked on it, didn't they?
There are no ducks in the aquatic update. There's another stupid title for this podcast.
I didn't even pick up on that little spelling thing, I guess. Grammar, I don't know.
Either way, but I love this idea, and I think it could be implemented easier than the way Mojang's thinking. So we can waterlog blocks and everything now, but so to waterlog a block, let's say you have a fence post. To waterlog that fence post, you don't necessarily have to click on the fence post, right? You could click on the block it's sitting on. Or am I wrong on this? I want to say if you click on the block it's sitting on, it'll waterlog the whole fence post. If you click on top of the fence post, it's going to try to place the water on top of the fence post and not waterlog it. Mm-hmm. Well, now imagine you had a glass pane. Let's say it's connected so it's easier to visualize. So basically you have a glass pane cutting blocks in half. Well, if I click on the right side of said glass pane, I think the right side of the glass pane should be waterlogged and the left side not. Now, if you had a glass pane that's just single by itself, obviously the entire area around that glass pane should be waterlogged.
Yeah. I'm starting to think where they might probably run into issues is with the water levels. Mm-hmm. Like, how does it work when you only have half a block? Like, what if the half block on the glass side is the source? Then all of a sudden you get like a half block of water that would create the same amount of water as a normal thing would. Mm-hmm. Or what's probably even trickier is what if it flows alongside the glass panes and it has to gradually get lower. I think there might be some issues there, but maybe I'm thinking
there could be. I mean, in my thought process, it's going to act just like a full block that's waterlogged. It's just visually cut in half.
Yeah, but you can't waterlog a full... Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to have water levels, basically.
Yeah.
Because you can't have like a waterlogged block by streaming something into it, right?
Who knows? These are all just mentioned features anyways.
True. I mean, they'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. They can do it. Let's go to the next feature.
All right, mine. I immediately thought of tridents for this one, and it's toggleable enchantments.
Yeah.
So imagine you have a trident with what's the enchantment for lightning strikes? I forget about it. All right, let's throw tridents out the window because nobody uses tridents. That's why we can't remember the stupid enchantments.
The Thunderstrike enchantment.
Yeah. Let's go to bows. So you have infinity on your bow.
Right.
But you notice your infinity's getting real, or your, what is it? Your durability's getting really low. Words, man. We've been talking for an hour now, and I'm not remembering them. Your durability...
It already started off a bit wonky.
Yeah. Your durability's getting really low on your bow. So you switch from infinity to mending. So you still get to keep using your bow, but now you have mending on your bow, which means you do have to have a sack of arrows with you. You can't just carry that one arrow. But for a time being, you're now recharging your bow using mending. And I think that is an awesome feature.
I really like the idea. I think your the way you described it might be a bit on the overpowered side.
Yes.
Definitely. But, I mean, maybe that's what the smithing table could do.
Yes.
Right? You use the smithing table, I don't know, to sort of... So you need an item to toggle it. Like, you can't just do it wherever you are. You have to sort of set it up, like enchanting.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing I was thinking about is things like, what if I'm hunting something and I don't want it to catch fire when I shoot it? I always have flame on my bow.
Mm-hmm.
What if I can just toggle off the flame so I can get like raw meat, for example, if I want to collect stuff to trade with a trader? Or if I'm working with mobs and I have thorns on my chest plate, I could turn off the thorns for a little bit.
Oh, that would be so good.
I've often accidentally killed a mob that I'm trying to place somewhere because I have thorns on my chest plate, and I don't always have it. I keep it when it accidentally comes on, but yeah, it would be nice to be able to toggle that off sometimes.
It would. Oh man,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they still have a few enchanting or crafting tables left, right?
Yeah.
So they could just... Yeah, well, there's a use for one, Mojang. Use it.
Use it, Mojang.
Yeah.
Okay, you got one more left. What's your next one?
So, yeah, we both have one more left, so we're on to the last one. So my last one is... I thought it was kind of an interesting one. I'm not sure if I want it, but it's interesting to talk about. And that's... I guess they found a way to sort of make changes to the world format. Mm-hmm. This is getting technical, but what it basically would do is infinite build limit.
Okay.
Infinite build height. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool to have infinite build height. You can use the sky. You can actually make a sky base where it doesn't show from the ground, maybe. You have a whole extra realm almost to play with. Then again, that could be annoying at the same time as well, because you create like a bigger distance between players, which kind of happens quickly already. I don't know. It seemed like a really interesting thing, like infinite build height. It will be. There's a lot of potential in there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it ties right in with my second to last item that I'm going to tie in with my last item, and that's sky biomes. Supposedly the sky biomes were in the game for a little bit. It was like a beta feature. And then they got taken out and created the end with the end islands. But, I mean, how cool would it be? Say you go way up above build limit to find this whole new area where it's a bunch of islands floating in the sky.
Right? Yes. Cloud cities or whatever. I've always wanted to make one. I think that could be cool.
Now, to bring in my last feature that I'm going to keep bringing up in podcasts until I get it, the red dragon.
Agrees. Oh, that would be lovely to have a dragon.
The reason you would want to go to a sky island or sky biomes is because that's where the red dragons live. That's where you would get a red dragon. And a red dragon is tameable, and you can ride it and fly around. I want it. I want the red dragon.
I agree, but with all those features, it would need work to acquire, but it would be awesome to get one.
Yeah.
Flying on a dragon.
Mm-hmm. And with changes to world format, which you're talking about, to me that makes perfect sense. Put a sky biome up there. The main mob be a red dragon.
It gives you a lot of extra space. Well, there's room to actually make sky islands. Well, that also gives you a reason to explore. That gives the Elytra a better reason, I guess, as well.
Yeah, because you can't get to the sky biomes until you get an Elytra.
Yeah, and maybe just make it so you have to go like 500 blocks up, and only there you'll find them. So you actually have to fly around like really high. You can't use it. Like, you wouldn't be able to scout the ground and the sky islands at the same time. It would be one of the two, which I think would be cool.
Make them kind of rare to the fact where you just can't pillar up and walk around.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe something like an End City or so, or maybe not as... Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want them too rare, but not too common either. Like you said, you don't just want to be able to pillar up.
Yeah, it'd kind of break early game, and if you tame a red dragon day one, which I would do.
I can't blame you.
Yeah. But on that, I mean, we're already at an hour. I figured this episode, once we wrote it down, was going to take this long. We literally had 2 more sections of topics to talk to you guys about, but
just as a backup,
yeah,
kinda?
just as a backup. So we're literally going to ditch those 2 topics, come back to them later. So we already kind of have a podcast already written out. So Bank,
pretty much.
If you want to go ahead and let's get this outro rolling.
Alright, so if you like the show, please leave us a rating and a review. It really helps us out in reaching more listeners. If you'd like to get into contact with us, send an email to podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com, tweet us, or join our Discord and have a little chat. It's a great and easy way to get into contact with us. And the link should be down in the show notes.
Yeah, and this show has been brought to you by Bank and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. Carl makes sure that our show ends up where it's supposed to be. And the amazing music you hear is done by Decoy. He did the intro and outro, and it's awesome. Both their social media links can be found down in the show notes. And like always, guys, thank you for getting withered with us. I want a red dragon. Bye, guys. See ya.
See ya later.